Good evening, free enterprise fans, and welcome to the final play-in match before we head on into the playoff draft. I am Invenerable. Tonight on comms with me, I have the one and only riversmccown. How are you tonight, Rivers?
Doing good. Happy to see some dreams in tonight.
And of course, we have the wonderful Scala Kitty handling our restream, especially since we have bonus shenanigans after this race. But we'll get to that in due time. And Gambit017 handling tracking. So this race, unlike pretty much everyone other we've had in the league, you have to play for first. You can't be content with a second place and just accruing some points. You can't be, well, if I get top 3, I move on. If you don't win this one, you're out. What does that make you hope to see this race, Rivers?
Well, I mean, what I hope to see is a lot of crazy gambles along good boss fights. What I think it would do if I were actually playing it is I'd play it very cautiously. I would not want anything to get away from me, and I would be more incentivized to do boss spots that you can complete easily, but not ones that necessarily are like what you would normally do. Like I would be if I got an Earth Crystal here, if I got a Twin Harp here, I would definitely want to die with those early.
Gotcha. Well, just to go back over our racers again, we do have peteza34, relative newcomer to the community, has done a very good job both in qualifiers and made it into this play and race in the league. And then we have a couple of more familiar names from leagues past. We have, of course, both chocosura, the people's musician, and penguin8r, the bird in a tuxedo. And we got Mechalink also bringing up kind of the new crew, been playing for a while, but really strutted his stuff during the quals and during the league. And yeah, all four great racers. Going to be excited to see what gambles they do have in store for us tonight.
Yeah, I believe Mechalink was 33rd in the qualifiers for last year's Highway to the Zemus Zone. So, so close. Pizza is the main newcomer. Also, the only one of our participants that got 10 points in the league. Everybody else only had 9.
Yeah, so GG's Pizza. I mean, he beat me in a race, so that has to say something. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings out here tonight. While we are waiting to get caught up with the stream delay, we will give a quick summary of what's happening afterwards. The top 4 players from the league, Elmagus, Kobahi, Aizen Tayama, and Woobear will be hopping in. They'll be doing a snake draft, although in Magus's case, it'll be a proxy, probably near him, since he is, it will be, 3 a.m. in Germany? And we're going to find out what the playoff groups are going to be shaping up in the weeks to come. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Don't go leaving just because you see the first of these racers not done. There's a lot of free enterprise interests going on tonight.
Just more excuses from that Elmagus character. Very shady. I don't like it. But what we can also talk about, though, is that we do have an Edward start. So hopefully getting some troll on for our runners here. This is not the easiest character to begin with, and it looks like we are off.
Excellent. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a similarly low-powered cohort for this bard.
How's that? How's that one?
That's very similar. I'm so happy. Scala rolled this seed, and it is already a beaut.
So with 2 Edwards in tow, I'm imagining we're going to get more chest checks than normal early on in the game. Probably some weapon shops for dancing daggers if one doesn't appear as well.
Oh yeah, dancing daggers are great. They do that magical damage to the tune of about 300 a hit. You, with all your vanilla knowledge, I'm sure you have a much closer estimation. What does the damage actually range on a dancing dagger?
Well, it actually depends on the boss magic defense. So in some spots, as you said, it's like 400. In some spots, it's more like 50. At Keinatsu, it's like 0. So don't use it against Keinatsu in the Keinatsu spot. But we've got Tella and Baron in, along with a Leviathan. And it looks like I saw some Zeus Gauntlet action already. So if this Edward does find another power character, that will be nice.
Yeah, it's a shame he can't use them himself. Those samurai arrows will be pretty nice if we can find a good bow to go along with it, either an elven bow in a shop or maybe a samurai bow out in the wild. And that I'd kind of fond of that vampire item right there too. Again, Okay, well, there's the elven bow. The vampire will do a 1-target drain effect. As long as the boss doesn't have too high of magic resist, you can probably get around 600 damage with that. But that elven bow is going to be real nice. Highest accuracy of all the bows, doesn't really give too much strength or, fun bonuses like Samurai and Artemis, but great pickup for these Edwards.
So we've got Silk Webs in Baron Shop. We've got Coffins and Cure 2s and Ether 2s in Agart. And as predicted, both Penguin and chocosura are heading to Mist to loot there as well.
Yeah, this will actually be, unlike, last night with all the Canes in play, we're not going to see people, I think, rushing out to the boss spots just yet. I think we're going to get a little more shop action just until you feel like you've reached that critical mass of, I can get over these first few bosses.
Yeah, well, there was a big bomb in one of the chests in Rydia's house there, so between the big bomb and the vampire, very conceivable that you could see somebody taken down pretty quickly early on. We also got Elven Bows in the Mist Weapon Shop.
Ooh, excellent. So you can get one for each Edward at this point. The one from Baron, plus throw that 10,000 down on it. You know you want it. And yeah, I would not really be scared of either Antlion or Hobspot at this point. Question is, do you go for the quick check from Damcian, or do you really want to get that character first?
Well, we've got Mute Arrows and Damcian as well. So between Mute and Samurai, we've got two of the best early game arrows you can find for sure. Not quite Artemis, but pretty good. And as Chad noted, we did see Antlion hanging out in the waterfall, so that is off the board, which our runners are probably pretty happy about early on, given his predilection to being annoying in high HP spots.
Yeah, and not just that, but we don't really have a team that can bypass its counter. We don't have a source of magic. We don't have any of the real J abilities that let you ignore its counter script. And with only 60 HP per Edward, I honestly would not even want to see that at any of these early spots now, let alone how rude it can be on the moon later.
Penguin8r getting 18 Tents and 18 Thor Rages from Typo, in case you were wondering. I don't know why that number was appropriate, but here we are. Penguin8r makes his decisions. He does what he wants. He's influential in his community.
I mean, with the 2 Edward start, I could see getting the 18 use out of those. As for the 18 Tents, I mean, maybe Penguin8r did a practice seed where cabins hid from him. I love seeds where I go to the moon. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't camp. Why am I in the bottom of the lunar subterranean and I can't camp? So maybe a little preemptive worrying there.
Also, we see a cursed ring here in the bottom of the end scene, so those shenanigans are on the table as well. A lot of looting early on. We got chocosura going to Troya, not a normal check, I would say, but well within the range of 2 Edwards.
Oh yeah, usually you'll see this if someone gets an early Earth Crystal, but it's still very quick, 9 free chests. If you're really antsy, you could even grab the 4 in the back of town. Pretty item dense, but yeah, a little out of the way for this point.
So we've got Sirens in Troya as well as Ether 1s. And I think chocosura found a big bomb hiding in that treasury, so he will be happy about that. Penguin8r about to show us our first look at the Hobbs character, I believe.
Finally, someone, getting the courage, saying, enough shopping, have at you.
It is another Edward,
You don't
folks.
want a third Edward? What's wrong with a third Edward, Penguin8r?
What a hater.
Oh.
More like Penguin hater.
So fill me again. Last night, how many canes were in the seed last night?
I believe the answer was 4.
Okay.
4 canes.
So we're up to 3 bards already. That we do know there's a Tella in Baron Inn, so at least there's that.
Looks like the correct number is actually 5, as pointed out by the entire chat. Okay, 5 canes.
Ha ha ha.
I will say I'm very surprised that Penguin8r didn't use his Thor Rage army to take out that Aquaman. No, that's not a hard fight for the Thor Rages.
Yeah, and honestly, even just having the extra body with this team ain't shabby. Worst case scenario, there are lots of places where Eddie's so fast, you can just kind of do life potion, battle of attrition. It's not the dream, but it may still be what we have to resort to this scene.
So it was Life's Illusions.
Oop, I lost you a little bit there, Rivers. I heard Lives and Illusions. Roboto McCown, you there? Okay, it appears Rivers might be reconnecting to voice chat, so... In the meantime, Couch, thank you so much for those gift subs to the RPG Limit Break community, and thank you as well for the 10-month resub. You are awesome, sir. Thank you so much for that continued support of RPG Limit Break.
Wow, my apologies. Looks like I cut out like I was pouring there.
Welcome back, Rivers. Welcome back. Pizza, by the way, did a similar quick reset. Not interested in the third bard yet. And we're going to be getting a peek at Antlion Cave pretty soon for both Pizza and Chocosura.
Yeah, I was saying there were both lights and illusions in Troya, so I think that would be a primo spot to check up on early, and probably going to be the power shopping of the seed.
Oh yeah, as long as we don't fight anything since we now know illusions are in the overworld, as long as we don't fight too many things that have wall-piercing attacks, we could just conceivably stack up on illusions and starveils and make our way through any fight slowly but surely. But when you want first place, slowly but surely is not really on the agenda, is it?
Oh, baby, that samurai bow just popped up right in that last chest in Antlion, so Pizza taking that, equipping it right away. And we are going to see, looks like a Mylon of some sort here.
And
just
it is
a vanilla old Mylon.
Mylon and friends. I was kind of hoping we'd see Mylon Z here, just so that we could see these arrows doing all their lovely bonus damage. But if Pizza has that big bomb, very easy to wipe the gas out. Mylon will start punching, but this spot has very low attack power. Honestly, the Drain is probably more of a threat than the Mylon punches.
Yeah, it actually is doing a lot of damage to Pizza right now. Ooh. A little bit shaky.
May end up having to use... Now, here's one thing that a lot of new runners to the game may not be aware of, and that's that Vanilla Mylon is not undead. So that vampire item, you may be like, oh no, it'll just drain my HP instead, but this might be a good place to use it. Things are getting a little hairy here for Pizza.
mechalink, by the way, heading over to Octaman saying, look at these store rages, let's go.
Oh, there we go. Pizza throwing the vampire to wrap up the Mylon. Only one Eddie standing, though. Not going to get these 4 levels on both Edwards, just one.
Behind that Mylon, we have the Darkness Crystal. Hello. I hope you enjoy making decisions, because there are going to be a lot of them in this season.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I think we're going to see a lot of moon checks, just hoping for a character who can help forge through this early game.
What are you talking about? We've got 2 Edwards, the potential of Tella and Baron in, another Edward hanging out on Hobbs. I mean, it's all coming up, just perfectly for these runners.
I mean, that may be my dream party, but I'm going to fall out of my chair, though, if it is another Edward on the moon. So, fingers crossed, chat. Hopes and prayers, hopes and prayers.
I'm thinking it's high time we get a Porum in this party.
White Mage would work. Here's one thing, though.
Pizza running out of money here. Cannot buy those coffins before selling things.
However, with that early Darkness Crystal, that means that we have both a Tella in play and a Giant of Babel in play. But is this really the team where you're worried about slingshotting someone soon? I think this Lunar character is going to heavily influence these Racers' decisions going forward.
Looks like we've got mechalink checking out the Fabul boss here. Giving us our first little progression check here in a little bit.
Pizza dealing with the challenge of a very slow moving child, and then every NPC in Haggard is ruining Pizza's day. I love it.
And here's Asura, exactly who you want to see when you got Edward. Although we do have the mute arrows.
We have mute arrows and a samurai bow. We have an elven bow with samurai arrows. Just mix and match. You'll have a good time.
Well, make sure you time it right. Don't get cured on.
There's the blue face. Mechalink has this on lock.
Pizza is our first to summon the Lunar Whale. We all bow to the whale. And we ask it for eternal guidance and... What are the memes we're talking about with Moon now? And then?
Well, it's not
haunted or vaunted.
Oh yeah, Moon's haunted, Moon's vaunted.
We're praying for the whale for a vaunted moon.
I kept thinking of the fact that on a lot of my seeds, it seems that the Hummingway shop is stocked with Bacchus wine. I'm like, rabbits brewing wine. No. Yeah, Moon's haunted. Moon's vaunted. Yeah, there we go. And Mechalink earning a sand ruby from that fight, which, by the way, cleaned up with those Edwards, doing about 700 damage a pop with those bows. It just goes to show that when you attack an enemy's weaknesses, even an early Bard team can get you through pretty nicely. Did a great job keeping her on that blue life 1 face. Did plenty of damage. Very well done, Mechalink.
Yeah, now he's got that sand ruby, so he can go check out and find that next Tella. Everybody wants another Tella.
I mean, Nutella and waffles, that sounds delicious. Nutella and Edwards, not as much.
But yeah, Edwards are kind of crunchy. You kind of want to avoid that profile.
Two Tellas, 3 Edwards. We have a full house of what a lot of people think are the hardest characters in the game to use. This is great.
Pizza is going for I would assume the shop first and then the check here. So hopefully soon we'll have the answer to if there is a good character in the seed.
Yeah. While we're getting these checks, Pokerific asking in the chat, how does that Asura manip work? Well, as long as she's not too fast or too slow, you wait for the life 1 to pop up, and you do an attack that goes off quickly. Don't do anything with a long delay, and then it'll rotate her back around to the blue face. Keep waiting for the life 1, bop, it should stay on the blue face. Your mileage varies if she is extremely fast or extremely slow at a spot.
We got Cure 3s and Hourglass 2s in that moon shop, so nothing extremely handy for this party yet, but some good items worth picking up.
Yeah.
And as we go to the Lunar Throne.
Wakey, wakey.
Just Aridia.
Okay, so, we mentioned a minute ago how this character would probably have a pretty hefty impact on leveling options and grind options. Rydia is one of those characters that I want a slingshot. Her XP curve is so slow that being able to immediately send her flying into level 60 is kind of a big deal. So I think that's going to be a decision each racer makes. Penguin8r won't surprise me if he leaves her sleeping until he gets a Tella online.
You can just do a quick grind to find the slingshot levels too, so that's not out of the question either. In this case, honestly, given how early this Riddy is and how little damage potential the rest of your characters have, I think that might be the right play.
Go ahead and do a fight on the moon, see if you can get her up to Virus. With that Tiara, I mean, yeah, her Virus damage will be really nice for cleaning up the remainder of the overworld.
Yeah, and you can always go back later on and do a gold D fight or something to get the levels aligned to a spot where you can triple jump her anyway. So yeah, that looks like the play for Pizza for sure.
Yeah, looking for monsters here that this team can actually handle before getting just walloped. Now, I see that he did buy 2 Hourglass 2s. On Earth, we saw Hourglass 3s. I don't think we saw Hourglass 1s. So that shop may be a little more helpful than initially assumed if those Hourglass 1s are buried underground somewhere.
It's true. And he keeps getting the fight with these 2 worms and, unfortunately, having to reset it because it's a back attack.
Yeah. Finally got the front attack. This is good, because actually his weak Edward will hide automatically, but to prevent... So for those of you unaware, with the advent of duplicate characters, Edward's hide command could cause soft locks in the game, so now even a weak Edward, once you pop him back out, well, he's not supposed to rehide. Oh, he doesn't rehide if he's the only character alive.
We've got Shiva on Mount Hobbs, so that really does get a little extra power there.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. The Eddies are not rehiding. Pizza's getting these coffins off. Didn't get a life glitch.
chocosura going right into the core. This is an interesting play right here.
chocosura must be hoping to find a free boss, or there's a specific encounter down here he's hoping to deal with to get some levels. One or the other.
Yeah, I might be looking for some sorcerers or something like that. The carry fights.
And Pizza does get 17 levels on Rydia. That's a big bump, but it doesn't even get her to Virus. She doesn't learn that until 25 or 26, so not quite there yet if you're hoping to power her up.
And he does have a second one, so I think he is going to use that as well, yeah.
Mechalink did pick up that awfully young and spry version of Tella.
Chocosura hunting the Tricker. That is an interesting play right there. I love to see it.
Ooh, that's really... It is the rare encounter on floor 7, and it is vulnerable to insta-death. But how much XP do you actually get from one?
Well, it looks like the answer is 21,000, so not bad at all, but...
It is, however, the safest one if your levels are this low. If you're trying to deal with a lunar boss that isn't just going to murder your team, that's on, or not a lunar boss, a lunar monster, that's a great call. I really like this little bit of tech by Chocosura. I hadn't even thought about him.
Nope. Pizza on his way back from the moon, abandoning that beautiful place where it's definitely not haunted, and looking to take out the rest of the overworld now. We've seen Leviathan at Baron M. That's the first boss. I don't think anybody's seen the second one yet. We've also not gone on ordeals at all.
We are fast approaching 20 minutes in. Been a little slow, a little rickety start, but it's everything I would have hoped for in the second play-in match.
Wow, Chocosura is walking all the way out of here, is he? Wow, that's... Okay. I mean, I hope it works out for him for sure. That's a very interesting strat.
Didn't find exits. Maybe, I'm guessing Rydia doesn't quite have the MP to spam warp a whole bunch. You could probably skip a floor or two, but yeah, no other real means of quick egress.
So I've seen Hourglass 1s on Star Veils now. And
Oh, very
shop
nice.
the pizza just happened upon.
You know, if Chocosura wanted to get really cheeky, Gold Dragons are vulnerable to Odin. You're not going to have that great of a hit rate, but Sirens on floor... Not Sirens on floor 7, but Sirens on floor 6. Spam that Odin until Rydia cuts them up. And that would be another 60,000 per fight.
Yeah, you could also just check the bosses to make sure there's not anything too free. I mean, if I was already going there, that's probably what I would do. But
Yeah.
Respect the play.
Yeah. Well, and also only had 2 coffins. Money was a little sparse back on the overworld, so even if you did find, say, Baron guards or Kaipo guards, it'd still be a little slow chewing through those HP.
Pizza finally doing his own Fabul now. Looks like a lot of our runners are doing things we've already seen on screen at this point. Fabul becoming a familiar place for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to see who forges new territory here. Is anyone going to go try to pick up the second Tella at Baron? Go ahead and run up ordeals to power up the other one?
Well, here's your ordeal. Dang, we almost got one. Here we go, Mechalink. There's your ordeals, boy.
There we go.
2 ordeals right now. I love this play in these flags, mostly because of how overpowered a Paladin Cecil is. So I feel obliged to make it pretty early most of the time.
Yeah, just a lot of crisscrossing here.
Penguin8r getting played a little bit by that Ashura.
All right, and Mecha about to give us our first little bit of insight here. Doing a quick camp, a quick save.
Well, that's free.
Very good to see. This is a great spot for XP. I mean, not that Tella benefits from it really, but you'll probably get a couple more levels on your eddies. You don't have to worry about... I mean, maybe you'd prefer to see them at the back attack spot since this one is pretty easy anyway. But still, just to know that you're already 1/3 of the way through ordeals has to feel pretty good in this situation.
Hide, and then kamikaze Tella. Do it. Save those animations.
Chocosura and penguin8r pretty much nose to nose right here.
Looks like we got Hourglass 3s and Silvera, not a whole lot else. Also saw Black Swords, but of course we have no Cecil.
King and Queen Evelyn finally coming conscious. Their next turns will be clearing things out here.
Looks like Chocosura is also taking the Shiva here on Hobbs. Shiva's a pretty good spell early on, though. You would probably prefer to get a different weakness than Ice, but still really good.
Oh yeah, especially since again Rydia's not going to have Virus for quite a few more fights. Got her XP going pretty well on the moon, but just without actually promoting her at Dwarf Castle, you really miss out on a lot of that mid-tier stuff. The Hobbs flag definitely helps out.
Mountain's free, FYI.
Mountain's free.
More like Mount Free deals.
Hey. Come on down. We've got ordeals coming out left and right.
That officer tried to sell us the extra seats, and Telenover didn't like it, actually. They want their free bargain.
So now what do we... well, now it should, after these two freebies, be like Wyvern in the room or something.
That's right. I think we've only seen Pizza actually look at the Star Veils. Doesn't mean that he was the only one to pick them up, but the only one who I remember seeing them on stream.
And honestly, you can probably still get enough attacks in before the Mega Nuke comes out, especially if you just with how fast Edward is in general. And then we, of course, are still kicking around that cursed ring from earlier.
All you got to do is hide 3 times. What's the big deal?
Mechalink not taking any chances here, though. Taking that save before heading into the mirror chamber.
All right, Pizza gonna do Baron, so we're gonna get that check pretty soon. It looks like. And our deal of the day, add Mount Ordeals. The Baron key.
Pretty nice then, having come here before picking up the other Tella. Not only are we going to have a full array of spells on this one to help get the other Tella, you don't have to go Baron, away, back to Baron, like Pizza's going to have to do at this rate.
Got a Gren and Barrett.
And also, incidentally, another Mage-type fight for this team of Mage Killer Edwards. Yeah, I do not hate running into Asura and Naga Sisters in the overworld when I'm loaded with Elven Bows and Mute Arrows.
Pizza running into Ogo Pogo at Baron Inn, though.
That's
more interesting.
Whew. The Nope Rope and the Danger Noodle, back to back.
Yeah, does he have... He hasn't done Ordeals yet, so he doesn't have anybody who has Berserk either. That's probably a fight you're going to want Berserk for.
I mean, the bright side is it's a very slow spot, one of the slowest in the game. So Pizza will probably get through here by attrition, everything. But, whew, yeah, I would definitely much prefer to have my Ordeal stuff online at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a spot where you're going to do like 300 damage a hit versus Ogopogo probably one-shotting anybody.
Oh, yeah, and down goes a second Edward. And Pizza, okay, now he's doing a little more attrition here, starting to pull out these life potions and Cure 2s. I was wondering if he was just going to YOLO it, but I don't think you're getting through these 4,000 HP doing it with pure YOLO.
Yeah, as you said, it is a slow spot, so that makes it doable. It's just going to be quite annoying to finish and probably deplete a lot of your arrows as well.
Yeah. Flipping over to those samurai arrows there to do a little bit extra oomph. Yeah, I think Pizza gets through this just fine. And honestly, if this is the underground access instead of it being gated by the Baron key, this might save him from a rabbit hole. Baron Castle, you do get a character, there are a couple key item checks, but there are a lot of cutscenes, and I would think that most of our racers who've done ordeals will be tempted to dive in there, if only to upgrade the party.
So we saw Pizza and chocosura go darkness early and get the radio. We saw Penguin do it early, get the radio. Mechalink just arriving here now has already done ordeals, has the weak spell. I'm curious if that radio is going to drive him to grind right away.
Pizza, meanwhile, has gotten through Ogopogo and gets... Well, penguin8r will at least be excited when he gets that reward, given that Ninja Shirt was his 2v2 team name.
It's the Ninja Wrap, or it looks like to me also the Ninja Bell. Just the way that icon is kind of shaped out.
Ninja Bell going to be my new chain of ridiculously cheap Americanized Japanese food. Maybe incorporated in a 2-for-1 with a Long John Silver's.
You know, when you're as sly and sneaky as a ninja is, the one thing you definitely want is a bell.
You know, by the way, so we make the Ninja Wrap joke, which is...
Mechalink going to giant.
Oh, there we go. You know, the Ninja Wrap joke, as a reference to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, it does feature Ernie Reyes Jr. joining the Foot Clan by supposedly removing every bell from a training dummy without making a sound. So those are Ninja Bells and Ninja Wraps all in the same movie. Booyah.
The lore goes deep, folks. Stay a while and listen. So yeah, Mechalink definitely going for the Dean Machine grind here. This is something you can do with Leak, something that is used in the vanilla No 64 run. And because his Rydia is level 1 at this point, he will get triple experience on her. So he's obviously aiming to make the early game as easy as possible by diving this right now. It will take him probably 7 or 8 minutes, depending on how lucky he is with the resets and getting the fight.
Yep. And I will note that penguin8r is now in the Magus Sisters fight as well, and his Rydia also still level 1. Even with those free fights, he perfectly knocked her off to keep her down at that level. He's getting ready to slingshot his Rydia too.
And yeah, I guess from a kind of a game theory perspective here, you do this early, you're definitely hoping to not have to come back to the moon, right? Or you're hoping to dive it right away. It's one of those two.
I mean, honestly, with how overall wimpy this team is, I even don't hate doing the grind and then just zooming through the blue planet.
Yeah.
Because once you get underground, your Edward's not going to do much work. Your Tella's marginally more useful, and that Rydia, like, you could grind Virus on her, but until then, you're still not really making headway against most underground bosses.
I've got to say, with the Baron key in hand, I think my play would be to try to do the castle first to get the character, just to see, because you might want to bump that up too. But I totally get the play and definitely respect it, given this is win or go home.
Yeah. Now, my decision-making process does get a little more complicated if we do Baron, though, and we find the hook instead of the magma key. Then I think you're definitely putting more weight towards the moon.
Because the hook boss could be something mean.
Yeah.
But are you checking the character anyway, though? With this party.
With this party, yeah. And I'd want to check the shop, too. It may be the only source of Bacchus wine. It may be... Well, we know Cure 3s are on the moon already, but there's still a lot of goodies down there that you could get. And we definitely have a source of exit. We have 2 of them.
Yeah, chat pointing out that Mecha may not have turned on encounters, which is going to make his encounter seed finding a lot more difficult, apparently.
Why can I not find these dragons? Why are they all so scared?
Why are all the enemies scared? That should be your glaring alarm sign here.
Why do the
monsters... There we go.
Why are the monsters not increasing? Oh, there we go. He has it on now. I'm not counting steps. I hope he is, because this could be it. This could be Sorry, I got a little pause there by noticing that he was using an hourglass. We don't have the dispel here. Dispel. To remove stop off of the searcher. So I'm guessing that's why he took the reset there. He's like, oh wait a minute, I can't call dragons if I stop it.
I love the dispel spell. Goes well with my ninja bell. So Penguin8r dealing with the scourge that is this Ogopogo early with 3 Edwards, Dead Rydia, and Tella. He does at least have the berserk damage, so if he chooses to go for that route, he can go that route. I don't think I've seen him do it yet, though.
Yeah, also taking advantage of those illusions and the blink spell, of course. Oh, popping a Starveil. He's going to be reflecting some spells onto this jerk.
Okay. That's another method you could do for sure. It's unfortunate that Tella doesn't have a whole lot of intellect to be able to cast these spells at a high damage, but still doing more than he would otherwise.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on Pizza's stream, we've got a confused Tella. my favorite Mega Sister fight Easter egg.
And chocosura is pushing with that Baron key. Megalink, meanwhile, we're going to soon find out if he has the correct encounter here.
Yeah, he has to cast weak on these beamers because none of his characters are actually good. It's really a shame.
Oh, you mentioned that. And admittedly, this may be commentator's curse incoming, but I would also be kind of worried about these characters missing a hit on a weakened D-Machine, or worse, only doing 1 damage and not killing it.
Yeah, that could be on the table as well, for sure. Especially the Rydia, given her level 1 stats are pretty bad.
Penguin8r finding his ninja shirt. Chocosura going to show us who this lunar boss was from the start of the game.
Hey, look, it's another really slow fight.
Oh, and Pale Dim is here to make it slower. Did somebody slay slow? Slow.
You know, that Pale Dim always was a little slow.
Oh, that's why. That's why it's Pale Dim instead of Pale Bright. Really, really heartbreaking that we've not found a single stack of Artemis arrows or a dragon whip anywhere in this seed. Either one of those would be doing so much good for chocosura right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have virus either, does he? Because that would help a lot too. Wait,
he's not gone up ordeals? He has to. He has the Baron key. Yeah, he has virus.
No, for Rydia.
Oh, sorry. Tella knows virus. Who cares?
We're talking about with characters that matter. Sorry.
My bad.
My mistake. Oh, we've got the Hiding Edward show here over on Mechalink side. Everybody reacting to those beautiful fires. By the way, this is why that auto hide thing is really annoying, and we're really glad the board fixed it, because otherwise this fight would almost be impossible.
Yeah. But that is another thing that you have to be cautious of this fight when you are doing it with this many Edwards in the team. You will lose turns if you get below that, 25% or 20% HP threshold. And so you want to try to do the healing before you've lost that many increments of 10%.
So we got chocosura looting this Baron treasury, saying, hey, my party is still bad, help me.
Bandana, karate, and more samurai arrows. Yeah.
The bandana and karate will be especially great when he finds good character. Yeah.
Okay, I'm really hoping he's full looting here and not making an Odin play right now. That, we talked about big gambles. That one is a little too big even for my tastes.
Penguin8r appears to be searching for value in the one place where there's always value. So I like his odds.
Huh, doing this instead of going and doing D-Machine. I wonder if it's because of that same Edward issue that we're seeing over on Mechalink's side.
Only one hourglass left on it. No, oh, he's got the 2s. Okay. He only had one hourglass 3, and I was starting to get a little bit concerned for Mr. Penguin on that play.
I'm worried because I just saw him try to run buffer in a regular encounter. That would be We've all done it. We've all run away. Be like, oh wait, I can't buffer right here.
Some of us have lost no 64 speed runs to it. I don't know who. I'm not going to name any names, Rivers, but just some of us have done that mistake as well.
He manually slowed his own Tella. Is he going to try to
He's
do...
going for life 2. He's going for life 2, yeah. You saw the setup.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is bold.
And the king of Baron turns out to be Yang. So, I mean, that's canon now.
Anything involving Yang always involves a cannon, doesn't it?
At the end of the day, yeah, pretty much.
And we did see penguin8r had a stack of 11 or 12 ether 1s. So yeah, he's going to make this work.
This is definitely an interesting play. His Midia in this case is going to get a lot of levels out of this, but it also is going to be fairly slow. And because when you life to the dragon comes back without being stopped. That dragon can be very fast, so something he's gonna have to keep an eye on. Oh, also the whole thing about our characters not doing any damage. Yeah, remember that? Yeah, you're gone too.
Yeah, both going to be very rough grind fights. Mechalink's making some headway, it looks like. penguin8r looking for a weapon here that will give him a better chance of actually killing a weakened dragon here.
Meanwhile, chocosura getting through that Yang fight. Pizza in it right now, finding a Yang for his troubles. So Yang was both on the throne and in prison. I mean, I could tell you how that works, but then I'd have revealed too much.
I like to imagine that actually they don't actually kill the one on the throne. He just runs away, quickly removes the fake, like, evil bad guy mustache and beard he's wearing. He's like, thank you for killing that imposter.
Honestly, I prefer him when he cosplays as Edge, but I mean, yeah, that works too.
So I kind of like getting that character. Yang is another great character to slingshot. He takes the spot of one of our eddies, so we don't have to worry about hiding as much if we do go to a grind fight. Like a level 60 Yang and Rydia can put the entire team on their shoulders and carry them through.
And we've got a Magma Key in Baron, so not even a Hook Seed.
And chocosura not even going to go peek who that Odin spot boss is. No time for that. But he's already been to Troya, so I'm guessing he's coming here for some shopping percent now.
Probably looking to boost up the Sirens. Life Solutions, yeah. Pizza about to be getting his Magma Key as well. See if anybody dodged that Odin spot early on, given the win or go home nature of this race. The answer is no.
Oh, yeah. He reconsidered. So we have the top two racers. Both have underground access, but their team is going to still be a little for a while. Bottom two racers getting really powered up. Mechalink is apparently done with his D-Machine. Let's see what the highest spell Rydia learns here is.
He gained only a scant 57 levels, so I think he'll be okay.
But that means he doesn't get Meteo.
I know! How am I supposed to bother him to use Meteo the whole seed?
But you do love to see that 2200 HP Rydia has both Nuke and Quake.
Looked like either a Ruby or an Elements at the bottom here at the Odin spot. So Ruby could be a very tough fight. Elements not quite that bad, but either way, not really a party that can handle it right now.
But yeah, Rydia is putting on her biggest backpack. She's going to stuff 3 bards and a sage into it. And I'm excited to see how Mecha decides to route this. Do we believe that she's enough to carry us through the moon, or is he going to just try to use his newfound power to overtake Pizza and Chocosura on the ground route?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have an easier time with Loco Pogo than Pizza and Penguin8r did.
Probably true. Still not wearing that tiara, though. Come on, give baby girl that +10 wisdom, please.
Yeah,
You're
the
gonna
tiara is a really, really great item for Rydia, especially. So Pizza and Chocosura are both now pretty much underground. Chocosura doing a little bit more grinding. Pizza looking like he's headed right to join him on your favorite peninsula.
I now like that little spot to the left of the mountain because it's a shorter walk from outside the Sylph Cave mouth.
Every frame counts.
Yeah, I bet they're both going to at least grind to Virus on Rydia. If they're really worried, they might try to go for a tier 3 elemental spell just to have it in their pocket.
Looks like Penguin is done here. He's getting 330,000 experience, which is 48 levels. So Rydia actually one shy of Nuke right now.
Well, it's not hard to get that. One more Gold Dragon fight without doing Life 2 shenanigans will handle it for him.
Unfortunately, also surrounded by a party of high-leveled Edwards, which isn't really what you want, but the seed is seeding hard. And now Penguin8r is going to search deeper for even more value.
You've come this far, you might as well peek across the ravine.
All value. Oh, that's in play. That's in play for sure.
Yeah, throw an hourglass, throw that quake. Think you might. Well, if he still has ethers left to do so, or did he burn them all? He used every single ether.
Every ether gone.
Yeah.
So have it exit out and tent up in the whale, but should be able to handle that for sure.
Oh yeah, he's gonna come right back down there.
Chocosura finding Pizza finding Odin in the Dwarf Castle in the first spot. Not a free fight at all.
No, I mean, we do have Lightning 3 on Tella, but that assumes Tella lives long enough to cast it.
Yeah, that Odin is very fast and hits like a brick in the spot too. So this is going to be an interesting fight, actually.
Do we have lightning arrows kicking around here? No lightning arrows, so you're not getting any bonus damage that way.
Tella.
Hey, that's only one Tella. We gotta back up.
Yeah, he did do a little grind before, so he won't be too bad off here, but pop.
Yeah, quickly flipping rows, trying to get those Tellas in the back row. There's a lightning 3 already.
There we go.
That's most of it. Just a little more oomph and Pizza's through.
Chocosura joining him, doing the same basic routing here. And now we've got Penguin ready to take on these dolls with a quake. The real Quack Kid.
Oh, my stream froze. There we go. I just had to pause and unpause. I don't want to miss whatever this value may be.
Hourglass 2 tossed out.
You do not want to find the big doll at this point.
Taking on Edward. Oh, Penguin getting rid of that Tella. It was doing so much good.
Another Rydia in Dwarf Castle.
Wow. Well, at least you can boost her if you didn't boost the earlier one. Only a White Spear in Cave Bahamut. The true value was in the levels.
I mean, Rydia still one level shy of learning Nuke, but still very mighty. Gonna get that level pretty quickly. I'm just wondering if Penguin8r now chooses to take this team lower, or if he goes back to Earth and plays catch up.
Ooh, landing right in the Crystal Palace. I think that tells you your answer right there.
I like it.
And that answer is no, never mind.
Never mind, I hate it.
Well, Penguin, we did momentarily like your play. So there's that.
I mean,
Mechalink,
it makes sense. Your only source of healing is a base level Tella, and that's probably not the best party to have, even with your overpowered Rydia.
Mechalink could take out this Odin spot here with his overpowered Rydia.
It's true. Especially if it's elements. Ruby will be a little ruder, I think.
No, it's just elements.
We about to see a Starbell? There it goes. Yeah, a couple fire 3s bounced off of Gilbert T, and this will be all clear.
We've got a tower key in Dwarf Castle, so could be some value hanging out in Dwarf as well.
Pizza's still struggling.
47 minutes in, and nobody has gone to the Fey March yet.
I mean, all the value was there last night, pretty much. Here come the fire 3s. This should do it, even with that Tella. Oh, yeah.
Only a pink tail.
And no hook to turn it in.
3 sets out of that. Says no thank you.
Huh. I think I would have at least walked it out. Maybe you end up having to find the hook and the rat tail. Maybe that ends up being your 10th key item if you do need to rely on another character other than just Rydia to beat the game. But yeah. I understand being salty after all the time you've already invested at this point.
I wonder if Mechalink's actually going to prioritize these Fey March bosses now that he's got this nasty little Rydia that can work her magic.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of which, there is Nuke on penguin8r, so his is fully online as well, as long as we don't count Nuke as part of the... I mean, Meteo as part of the spell suite.
Good old ninja sword hanging out in the chest that's just Mura the same.
Chocosura checking our job dwarf, a PI tonight. This dwarf has eyes on all the crime going on in Tamra.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle in Tamra. First they start with the farmers, then they get to like video game programmers. It's crazy.
Finally, by the way, Artemis arrows and a dragon whip, both in Fey March. Here's all that dragon killing stuff we could have used for Pale Dim.
Alright, Pizza going to be our first to see these evil monsters here. It looks like it's it's potentially the gauntlet. It's either the gauntlet or water hack, and then also a moon boss. Oh baby, we got it.
Icer Gauntlet has been in Fey March like 5 of the last 6 seeds I've played or watched. Like, that is so rude. I love it.
Let's see who that star is. Let's see who that star. Come on, Pizza.
Upgrading the arrow supply for... Actually, I don't think Pizza even has an Edward left at this point.
Actually, his party is bereft of damage outside of Yang. Physical damage, I should say.
Yeah.
So, I doubt he would want to do that at all. chocosura, meanwhile, is taking that tower key going directly up the tower. That's a play.
Yeah. Still ignoring Fey March, but as we've seen, not really missing anything.
And we have an early Darkest Crystal, and nobody did the moon except for penguin8r briefly. You hate to see it.
I mean, I guess you could have spent all your D-Machine or all your gold dragon money on Cure 3s at the Hummingway shop, and then just tried to grind it out that way. But I can't fault any of our racers for doing this. I can be disappointed, but I can't fault
them. Can I fault them?
Yes, you may.
Okay. I don't think I want to do it, but it sounds fun.
I mean, look at it this way. Let's say that you do this slingshot grind, and you think that anyone who doesn't do the slingshot grind probably wants to play it safe and stay on Earth anyway. They're definitely not doing Moon if they don't do a slingshot. So if you think that you have the power, see if you can outpace them on Earth and then even beat them to Moon at that point. I can see it as a strategy.
So that's the Dark Imps out of the boss pool as we see a moon boss at the top of the tower. Is Choco prepared for this?
I think chocosura can handle this. Woo!
You definitely went there. I can't stop you. It's been said already.
Meanwhile, Sheila having some music value. So, is Pizza going to beat Chocosura to the twin harp check tonight?
Oh man,
is the people's musician getting usurped?
If you're Pizza, you've got to run this in right away. I think, given how this race has been. In a win or in format, you stand to gain a lot of value if this Sheila, who you really had no inclination on checking early, has a lot of value behind her.
Absolutely. And of course, I assume everyone's going to be equally nerve-wracked by that darkness crystal still looming over their heads. It's one thing when you're full clearing Earth and Moon's not even on the table, like you end up finding that the darkness crystal's behind, like an Ogopogo in Feymarch or something. It's another thing when you've had access to it for pretty much the entire seed.
We are, and Pizza is going to give us some music, it looks like. So that's exciting. He has to find the right chocobo first, but after that, folks, maybe music.
Mechalink making the play behind Chocosura here, and I dare say Mechalink is in great shape to pass Chocosura here. They've both made the same checks, except Mecha has also done the Odin spot, but this level 58 Rydia is going to just nuke this plague into oblivion. Did Chocosura check tower key on the way up, or did he go straight to the Luge spot?
Straight to the spot, I think.
Gotcha.
And penguin8r finally underground after receiving great value from Cave Bahamut. And as I expected, going straight for Feymarch bosses, which we'll see how disappointed he is on that one.
I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And on the bright side, he does have Quake on his Rydia. Throw a Curse String on your middle character, and you can run buffered Quake every single one of those fights at Asura before they get an action in. So Penguin can clear it very quickly if he wants to.
Interesting. We've got a tower on the top of the tower. We've got a pass, so could be extra incentive to avoid going to the moon at all. Although the way the seed is played out, not looking incredibly likely that there's nothing on the moon.
We have Pain Man in the tower. He should do somewhere between 56 and 100, pardon me, between 140 and 196 damage per hit, or he just dies instantly.
And he's gone. He gone.
Oh, but I'm gonna chill a bit. I want to hear this tune. Thanks to Pizza chasing that harp. That's some really good, nasty music right there.
Penguin8r about to be disappointed as he opens up.
I cannot help you yet.
These lunars at the king spot, so that's pretty nice.
And complete freebie back at Dark Elf. Yeah, these lunars here are going to hit like trucks built of smaller trucks, pretty much like, you know, Transformers, except it's a Transformer that you've built out of smaller Transformers. And
Tower Key has the rat tail behind it.
Still no hook there, though.
That is another potential thing that leads to the hook having value in this seed.
Luckily for Rydia, that tiara she's wearing, it gives her dragon defense, and so being in the back row, even these really strong D-Lunars at Leviathan aren't hitting her for that much, and then the illusion just icing on the defense.
All right, and what are you rewarded by for giving the chat music? It is required music, folks.
Well, there we go. Thank you, Scala Kitty. You have rolled a music required seed. I'm sure everyone is as delighted as I am.
Hang on, we're getting only half of the D-Lunar Frog Caucus going here.
Well, that back one's nearly dead anyway. He had already nuked it once for around 9,800 damage, so one more nuke, and then the front froggy won't be doing much.
Oh, come on. That frog can do ones of damage.
Question now is, does Penguin8r actually care about getting XP on anyone else? Is he keeping Yang at base level as well, hoping to slingshot him later too?
Probably, at this point.
Yeah. I mean, if you get 10 key items first, which you're likely to on this flag set, that can very quickly be...
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow. The Lunar's giving you incentive to go see Sheila. So that should keep our runners out of Twin Harp rabbit holes unless they self-inflict it.
Yeah. But that will probably lead Penguin8r very handily to that Legend Sword, provided he does not deny the music.
The only question now is, you do that gauntlet? That's going to be the big one for this race, I think.
I mean, we have the tools to make it go as quickly as it pretty much possibly can. It still sucks, but you're at least optimized to deal with it at this point.
Penguin answering in the affirmative here. Or at least going to check it out.
And this is actually going to be a pretty sizable advantage. If there is something required here, this will be a great advantage for Penguin8r and mechalink, since they both have Quake on their Rydia. If it's garbage, well then Pizza and chocosura are going to have the advantage of they ain't going to want to fight it. I'm sure we're going to see... Oh my goodness!
chocosura don't care.
chocosura doing it. Okay, cool. I take it all back. I take it all back.
He's got the coffins, man.
Yeah, definitely more than enough for all these officers.
And it actually isn't that high of a spot for HP either, so... I mean, it's not going to be as fast as Penguin8r's for sure, but it's doable.
Yeah, 25,000 HP split amongst 15 monsters, with the captains taking the bulk of it. And yeah, Penguin8r is showing just how quickly you can get that Quake in.
So we got Pizza heading up the tower right now, dealing with Plague to get his pass. And mechalink about to join Choco and Penguin8r in this Feymarch rabbit hole.
Yeah, Penguin8r actually letting his Yang gain levels on this fight. I wonder if he's going to try to keep him 10 levels below. Of course, if you get 10 key items and have him 10 levels below the median, Yang will become a powerhouse after just one Gold Dragon fight, rather than having to do the Life 2 shenanigans we saw earlier.
Scratch, I can bring it up in chat that you can also stone this entire fight as well. You can. Stone does have a longer casting time than Quake, however, and usually in these fights you will take a lot of bops.
Yeah, and in this case, since he has done the slingshot on Rydia, the XP from the generals, if you just kill them outright, it doesn't matter. But if you didn't get the outright kill, it's fine to skimp on it at this point.
Drain Spear hype, folks.
We found the ninja shirt. We found the Drain Spear. Now all we need is a glass mask.
Does Sheila have all the goods today? Well, one thing we haven't seen, surprisingly enough, is that nobody has checked Always Sealed yet.
Yeah, that Lukaki has been hanging out for quite a while.
But other than that, I think Sheila 2 is all we've seen that's not Moon that hasn't been spoken for at this moment. Or Sheila 2 and the Sylph check, I should say.
Penguin8r gonna go chase this pan. We'll try to be baited to go down that that twin harp chain, but still, again, Luca key on the table.
Do you think any of our runners are like desperately searching for Earth Crystal at this point?
I don't think Penguin8r and Mechalink are. I think they've kind of made peace with their situation. But I think Choco or Pete might still go after it. One thing I am worried about for Penguin8r is that since he does seem to be comfortable with his team, he's not going Dwarf Castle, won't get Tower Key, which, I mean, if you single dip Tower, yeah, you get the pass, but given that I believe all three of these other racers are going to have the pass and he won't, that's going to be a little rough for him.
And it looks like those adorable little Sylphs are holding a gigantic Excalibur sword today. So, not great for our current party, but still a very good item.
A White Spear and an Excalibur. Eddie, time to start your training. I like to imagine Tella just bullies him. He's like, no, you will swing it until you learn how to kill something with it. Take it, you're learning.
See, my mental image of that is only of Edward trying to play the sword like a harp and cutting his fingers up.
I don't know how to use this instrument.
Only a crystal ring, so Sheila bringing nothing to the table either.
And so you know what that means?
Well, nothing new to the table, we should say.
Feymarch, completely busted.
Feymarch busted? What?
I know, completely busted.
What?
I mean, yeah, if you're really craving a Murasame, a Drain Spear, a Crystal Ring, and an Excalibur, by all means, have that.
Hey, pizza headed for that Luca key.
So yeah, never Feymarch, unless you're playing against Flurry 14. If Flurry 14's in the match, fine, do Feymarch. Oh, nope, never doing Feymarch again. I'm done.
So at this point, it is basically Luca key and moon stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, and the possibility of a ridiculously hidden Mist Dragon.
Oh, come on, that's folly. That would never happen in one of these seeds.
I mean,
just superstition, ancient superstition, that Scala Kitty would roll a seed like that.
We actually did have a pickup race Saturday night where it was demist behind package that had half of the crystal.
It could very well be Earth Crystal and Sealed Cave, as Chad is pointing out. Certainly, we've seen Pan, so pretty much the only thing we have that actually is a chain at this point is Hook to Rat Tail and the Earth Crystal. We've seen everything else on the stream so far.
So we are getting very close to the possibility of having to go Deep Moon without a pure White Mage.
Good. Oh, Mechalink having to reset out of the D-Lunars fight. Had a hidden Edward for the breath.
Oh.
Earth Crystal in Sealed Cave.
I bet we're going to see Pizza walk that one out. You know who?
Always sealed.
Ooh, we have not seen Wyvern or Golbez. I would love either one of them to be here. We do have a Cursed Ring and a Tella, so if there is one, it's not as big a deal as it was on that league match, but still, you gotta hope.
We've got Penguin and Choco headed to music right now.
So are you saying that Penguin8r and Choco are in sync?
Do you ever regret saying things?
Every day of my life. Pizza healing up before seeing who this sealed cave boss is at the evil wall spot. We have. Yeah.
Should have learned. Should have learned media. Should have learned media. That's all I got to say.
So let's see, how much HP do we have to chew through on the main CPU here? We're gonna find out in just a second.
It's not
Just
that
shy of
bad.
16,000. So
It's not that bad. This is
I
probably
didn't notice.
this is probably a fight where you quake if Rydia has it, but
Yeah.
his due. So
Now they will have Titan, but I saw him loading up at least one of his Rydias with a Zeus gauntlet. So maybe we see Zerg Rydia strats in a minute.
we're all hoping for that, right?
Yeah. I need a little more oomph to kill that defender though. Taking the reset
Ooh,
and flying away.
wow! Abandoning, always sealed. That is an interesting strategy.
We said we wanted to see some big gambles, and that's a pretty big one. We know Earth Crystal would give us access to 2 more characters. Pizza knows he already has a Legend Sword and a pass, and there's a lot of fertile ground on the moon. Well, not literally, but you know, there's a lot of ground on the moon. So
Inven has seen a lot of plants on the moon lately, folks.
I like this by Pizza. I like this. I like this. We know there's no value in Cave Bahamut, but I like Pizza going to the moon right now. You know that CPU fight is a slog no matter who goes there, except for Mechalink. Mechalink can go there and just rain stones down upon it. But nah, I like this from Pizza. I like it.
I don't think Mechalink has Meteor either yet. I do not believe he has that.
Oh, you're right. His Rydia was level 58, so still 2 levels shy.
It does have Quake.
Yeah.
And Mechalink, I think, tried to life glitch the D-Lunars. Doesn't work. Those things actually have the boss bit, unfortunately. But good try. A+ for effort. Pizza seeing those dolls, finding them a little bit more palatable than the CPU fight, and just heading right on in.
Yeah, I will note that he does not have Quake. He does have Titan, but also going to take a grind fight or 2 first. Okay. Cannot blame him for this one.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So at this point, not getting any really new information just yet. Penguin8r is going to find this tower key very soon. I'm wondering if he will do the full tower or if he'll do the Penguin8r special up here. For his sake, kind of hope he does the full tower and gets the pass. Other than that, the Earth's exhausted if no one's going to fight the CPU.
Well, someone will probably fight the CPU. Some of these Rydias do have Quake at least, so
Yeah.
that will help. But Pizza, not a man of CPUs. Just gonna go for it.
You know, I do wonder too, for racers who are comfortable with their current party state, if they would see that CPU, and even though they have the power, just go ahead and nope out of it anyway. Say, no, I'm not taking the time on CPU. I'm not doing Tower of Zot cutscenes. Let me hurry up and scoot back to the moon.
chocosura getting his pink tail.
Does he reset or does
Not
he walk
resetting
down?
out of it. Not resetting out of it yet.
He has a rat tail already, and 1, 2, 3, 8. Actually, that puts him at 11 key items, doesn't it? No, that puts him exactly. Wait, I can math. That's 10 key items. He's keeping it.
Oh, and then
So it wouldn't surprise me now to see chocosura head to the moon. He'll be getting double XP now and can grind up these Rydias in a hurry.
yeah, it definitely does feel like this is just a race to see who can realize they need to go to the bottom of the moon first right now, right? Like, that's definitely how my brain is looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, you could gamble on the slog of the CPU, the warping all the way out of Sealed Cave, walking through Zot, well, cutscene, wait, no, walking to Troya, cutscene. Walk through Zot. Cutscene fight. More cutscene. More cutscene. Congrats, here's your item.
So let's see. We've seen the Kaipo Inn guards. We've seen the Water Hag. We've seen Dark Imps. We've seen King Queen Evelyn. So there aren't a lot of free boss fights just hanging there. There is the Baron Inn guards. We've seen DK Cecil, so you can't even hide from that and call it an easy run. Yeah, I mean, what's down there? It might not be nasty, but it's definitely going to actually take effort.
Yeah, let's see. We've already seen Octomammoth and Antlion, so you can't even... Those two that you can just illusion up are kind of off the table already. Ooh, Bygon's still in play. Golbez is in play. Wyvern's in play. Val is in play. Ooh, Val with this team. Ooh.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Let's see some cruel moon bosses.
Evil Wall is still in play, yeah. The good news for our runners is that every one of them has figured out that Twin Harp is necessary. The bad news for our runners is every one of them is figuring out that Cave Bahamut is not necessary.
Penguin8r not doing the half tower play. Gonna get its pass, so this is still anybody's game. Pizza, having wrapped up a grind, gonna cabin up and come back down. Chocosura, you ready to do the fight, or do you want to grind too? Chocosura's diving right in.
What if, hypothetically, every boss left on the moon was terrible, but then there was demisted CPU guarded by the Baron and guards?
I mean, that would be a beautiful close to the actual, league and play-in phase of Zemus Zone 2. But I can't get my hopes that big. I'm just gonna hope for some rude bosses that we have to deal with it. That's all I'm dreaming of right now.
Chocosura giving us some Shiba action.
I mean, this spot doesn't have the highest HP, and it's already divided between the big doll and the 6 small dolls, so yeah, a couple of these will get through just fine. Don't think I'd use a coffin, but hey, gets it done quickly, right?
It looks like mechalink is going to give us our last music of the seed. If you haven't heard this one yet, it is a Mega Man 2 song. Choco noping out, unhappy with his doll reward.
I like that. You're probably not getting a cane at this point. It's highly unlikely that you will, and you would just full healed before that fight. So get your MP back and go ahead and fly along. And even if you did get full XP at that spot, instead of it being split 7 ways like it was, Bahamut's spot pretty low. It's only like, what, 35,000 base?
Yeah, that's not great. So Chocosura is good, not only the first person to go down here, but it was also the second person to go down here because of his unusual grinding early on.
But it's clearly worked out for him. 10 key items, has gotten everything that seems relevant on Earth, as long as that Earth crystal doesn't gate the other half of the crystal. So Chocosura is looking pretty good. Of course, if there are really nasty bosses down here, he's going to have to grind in a way that Penguin8r and mechalink will not at this point. But both of them still have things to clean up on Earth.
Yeah, this is an interesting one also because this might be a place where top-down makes a lot of sense for runners, rather than going from the bottom up, especially if in Penguin8r and mechalink's cases because they've already done their grinds.
Yeah. So we'll see if Pizza gives chase, or if he decides to go ahead and visit the Pale Dim spot. He did do Cave Bahamut first, maybe just in time to do Moon top to bottom. Ooh. You think either of these racers is going to do either a Mist Dragon or a Hook, and I think we're going to probably see a little bit of saves coming.
Absolutely. This would be a great save scum opportunity. Obviously, we're going to wait for these grinds here for chocosura, but yeah, if you find a hook, or given you already have one go mode item, you have the pass, this is definitely the place where you want to take a risk on something like that.
No. penguin8r now giving chase. This is his chance to pull ahead. He has left the sealed cave behind, not going to check it at all, but no one else has either. And since Pizza and Choco still probably need to do a little bit of grinding, this is penguin8r's chance to put that early grind to good use.
Yeah, Pizza going to grind here or not? That's a question for him. He's kind of in that like in between level range where you're not like great, but you've got some solid stuff going on for you.
Mechalink, by the way, finally looping back to wrap up the Baron Inn, which we wanted to see Leviathan and Ogopogo get dunked on. Well, here you go.
Yeah, if you thought that fight, the fight where Edward had to do arrows only was hard, then well, this was not hard.
penguin8r not doing Pell Dim Spot, also diving down to floor 7. And even though, metagame, you can think, oh, maybe I should do top down if I've delayed the moon this long. Given how rough the party composition was this seed, I don't think you even feel that far behind at an hour 18.
We got Dr. Luggage in the D-Lunar spot, so not exactly a tough boss. Should give Pizza a little incentive to go for it here.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody has Thunder Claws, they will pull ahead vastly, given Yang's ability to exploit that robot weakness.
Yep. This spot has, I believe, 42,000, maybe 45, I think 42 here, HP, and it's split amongst all 4 bodies, and you probably don't even see the third one. So, should be able to tear through this spot pretty quick, but I think penguin8r is about to show us the real power of tearing through these lunar fights.
Good validation save by Mechalink, big fan. Oh my dear. I will operate him manually now, directly now. I almost got it right.
So this form, of course, puts you on a clock. It's going to punch a couple times pretty heftily, but Pizza does have an illusion on his Yang at least. After a couple turns, it self-destructs for whatever its remaining HP is on a single target, which can be very annoying if it hits a real keystone of your party.
So Mechalink actually chasing Lukaki now. He will be the first one to get here with a real party that can compete with that CPU.
If this is...
We'll be interested to see if he wants to follow that chain.
I mean, if this is the solution to the seed, Mechalink takes it. The other 3 racers all neck and neck on the moon. This is kind of when you look back at a race, especially one where only first place matters, this is the kind of risk that win or lose, Mechalink can look back at this and be very glad he chose this path, because again, it's the one that no one else is taking. So it's not even about being outsped at this point. It's just, is this the value? Does this get me into the playoffs?
Have you ever lost a race by not checking the spot in them?
Maybe not on any, not on like a big stage or at a notable event. Certainly not in a league finals match. But I'm sure it's happened once or twice. How about you?
Oh no, I mean, like, I'm always very good about checking this spot. Just maybe not the boss in it.
So always sealed, new motto?
Always sealed. Yeah, penguin8r, as predicted, doing work with Nuke on this poor Dr. Luggage. Dr. Luggage, you saw penguin8r enter that fight after Pizza, but dunked on him way before. And got some big levels for that Kidia.
And Nick's Panicus asking in chat, isn't Mecha in first or out position points-wise? Well, at this point, this is our second play-in match for players who are ranked 17th through 20th, and it's win or go home. Only first place advances. The other three, see you next year.
And only a glass hat and a ninja sword hanging out there behind Dr. Luggage, so it's going to have to be a different spot for these guys.
Penguin8r not going to let the glass hat go to waste, though.
Oh no, I mean, glass hat is actually pretty useful with this party. Especially given that we expect to see some tough bosses in these other moon spots.
Only popping a tent. I'm wondering if we never saw cabins. Maybe they're gated by that hook. Maybe they are down in Cave Eblin and we are having to resort to tents.
And in that plague spot, we've got Rubicant.
We do have Ice 3 on our secondary Iridia to go along with the nuke on our primary one.
That was a glare of mercy right there from Ruby.
Actually, yeah.
That Ice 3 would not have gotten off on time and it would have healed him.
Yep. So Penguin8r actually getting rather lucky there. You wouldn't call that luck normally, but in this situation, very nice.
And CPU down for mechalink, so he does have that Earth Crystal. He will be able to charge it, whereas the rest of our runners have neglected that spot.
Yep, so that's what it's going to really come down to for mechalink this race. If there's no value there, he would have to make an absolute brain genius move regarding the moon. He'd have to get up there, go immediately to the right boss. If there is a hidden Mist Dragon, just guess and go for it.
Package behind Rubicant, and Penguin8r resetting out of it. Better hope there's no Mist Dragon.
Oh, that would be brutal. I mean, that's one of those things where, you know, normally you could say, well, if it's Mist Dragon at package, I've already lost. But if you think you're going to outspeed everyone doing the other 28 of 28 checks before hunting down Mist Dragon, you'd really regret having thrown that away.
All right, so here we are down at the bottom here in this Ogopogo spot. Penguin8r giving us our first glimpse of two Baron Guards.
There's a freebie. Not even going to go for the bonus XP here. Throw in the stones. About as fast as you can make that fight.
Getting a cool 122k experience for his troubles. And leaving with a hook. Ooh. So will he save scum this, or will he keep going?
I think I would warp and go ahead and save at the Wyvern spot.
Yeah,
and then
save at the Wyvern spot, then dive it.
Yeah. Or you could even go ahead. Oh, you know, you could kill Wyvern very quickly, probably with this team, and then do it before doing Pale Dim. I mean, Penguin8r only has 2 spots left on the moon at this point, anyway.
It's true. Meanwhile, mechalink heading up Tower of Zot, following that chain. If Adamant is somewhere in this sequence of events, he's in good shape.
What if it's just a Mist Dragon at Maga Sisters and it's been available all this time?
I was just thinking about that, yeah.
Yeah, Penguin8r making the check right quick.
Hello, Vanilla.
This is even randomized.
Top Radio surviving.
I think I take the quick reset, slap that cursed ring on, and have a much easier time with this fight.
On the other hand, and we've got Evil Wall in the Tower of Zod 1 spot.
You know, I do like that Midia survived not only the Mega Nuke, but also the first nuke. But, yeah. I would say at this point, if you're not, like, doing perfect run buffers between every single action, you're not winning this battle of attrition.
Yeah, that could be it right there. But honestly, not a terrible spot for that for that Wyvern at all. And should he get everybody up right away and Cursed Ring up the yellow, he's got a good chance.
Oh yeah. It's a very low magic power spot. And
Another Yang. Another Yang and Zod.
I mean, you know, some people say he's the second best character by virtue of the fact that he requires absolutely no gear, no equipment whatsoever to be Zemus viable.
And we've got Tella hanging out with Yang and Zot.
Skull over here spoilering me in Rivers. But I love it anyway.
So there could still be good characters behind Package or Giant, but yeah.
Hook's still in play, and okay, imagine Miss Dragon at King Queen Evelyn with a Fusoya at the Vanilla Edge spot. How's that?
Sounds unlikely at this point, but yeah. So Pizza gonna be second into the Wyvern fight here.
Not even getting an action before that Mega Nuke comes out for Pizza.
Torched.
But penguin8r is through.
And Bahamut is your boss number 2 here at Earth Crystal.
Only a lightsaber.
Ooh.
So we are running perilously low on spots to check. Mechalink is through this Bahamut fight. So at this point, it's either Pale Dim, the Rat Tail Turn-In, this Tower of Zot spot, or a hidden Mist Dragon.
So Mechalink, if Mechalink has guessed right on Adamant, he's going to be way in the driver's seat here. Otherwise, the rest of our runners are going to be in pretty close contention.
Yeah. If this is it, the only hope anyone else has against Mechalink is that his Zemus fight goes lopsided. Very much a thing that can happen with this party. No true white mage.
Hallway sealed.
Scala, I really hope your mic is part of your scene setting so everyone else can hear the laughing with it. Oh, okay. For those of you who aren't aware, Scala is beside herself, absolutely giddy with glee, like a schoolgirl, just so happy at what she's created.
All right, so penguin8r going to do the Pale Dim check first here, and we have Demist.
Well, that rules out that. So penguin8r in the driver's seat here. It's either the Mist Dragon turn-in or the Rat Tail turn-in or this spot. And he has dibs on all three as long as no one else goes to chase that hook. So penguin8r back in the driver's seat after Mechalink coming up empty and Zot.
It turns out that Skull is the most interesting commentator. I don't blame the chat for that opinion at all. I'm just letting it hang, feeling good about myself.
We really do need to get Scala on comms more often.
Good thing for penguin8r, he comes into this fight with Nuke, so Rydia making quick work of Demist.
Now, here's the question I have regarding what penguin8r is going to do after this. And it's that we know he's going to get go mode from one of these 3 checks. But does he bother learning Nuke on the other Rydia? Does he try to use...
Probably not. I would think probably not at this point.
Yeah. Does he try to do something fancy with Unihorns and, do a couple of nukes, let a Zerti Yang do a little bit of the work, and then wrap up that last, 16,000 HP with reflected spells? I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does this Zemus fight.
I think if this were me, this would be a pretty easy call where you just berserk Yang once, let it ride out the early part of the fight, and then afterwards you clean up with nukes.
I like that too, especially because Cure 3s were for sale on the moon. You can buy a nice big stack. You can hide your Edward to come out as an emergency chemist.
Spoon. So Demist or the Rat Tail will give us go mode.
And of course, Penguin8r doesn't know that, but I would have to assume he's going to check those two before flying to Sealed Cave.
Yeah, at this point, you're so far committed, you really don't have a choice.
And mechalink has come down to the bottom of the moon, which we know will not play out for him. Again, if that coin flip had pretty much gone the other way, if it had been Zot, he would have wrapped this up so handily. Everyone else would still have to go fight CPU, go through the entire Tower of Zot to be anywhere close to finishing this seed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it didn't pay off for him, but I mean that goes to show you just how quickly the race story can change on you.
Absolutely.
So, will it be Penguin's first check here at the D-Mist, or will it be the Rat Tail?
I'm kind of hoping it's Rat Tail.
Value at Rat Tail.
So I'm very glad it's the Rat Tail, because this means that amongst all our racers, we will have checked all 28 key item locations. It'd also be pretty cool if he turns in that pink tail and gets something worthwhile from it, but he may not even bother with that. Stardust drop.
Penguin avoiding this because he never got the hook out in the first place. That's what we call petty, folks. Yeah, the saves coming Rat Tail, as pointed out in chat, is still on the table. Pizza and chocosura both spending a lot more time worrying about this wyvern right now.
Yeah, if you just skip the dragon, you'd be good to go. Especially if you don't end up finding that mist dragon.
All right, so Penguin8r headed here. Unless somebody glitched the seed up big time, this will be an adamant.
There we go. That'll be go mode for Penguin8r. You gonna turn in the pink tail? You gonna indulge your curiosity? Nope.
Excuse me, streamer, what about Stardust Rod? Hello?
You hate to see it.
Didn't even validate.
Well, maybe one of our other intrepid racers will give us a peek. Because no one else has a pink tail.
Oh yeah, that's right, the whole reset out thing. Yeah, that was a thing, huh?
Actually, did Penguin8r reset out of it as well? No, it was mechalink who did with the early check. Gotcha.
So Penguin8r handing over that adamant, so get a little shop check here. He is our first to go mode, he has the pass, so it's just going to be a matter of if he's comfortable with this party or not. Does he want to grind more on that second radio, or does he want to just go? More white dresses for sale. And the seed that has only Tella as a white mage.
Well, Rydia could still wear it if we hadn't done Dwarf Castle, but if we hadn't done Dwarf Castle, we probably don't have the past. So, you know, it doesn't boost her black magic at all, but it is still a wonderful piece of gear.
Penguin wasting no time, heading right over to Troya, and he is going to get ready for this fight.
Yeah, and Dwarf Castle is not required.
I would guess that we'd see Yang, Berserk, and Rydia nuke. I'm not sure if we're going to see that as a time thing, or if we're going to see that as extra help from that second Rydia or something. So yeah. We'll see.
And I have been corrected. I forgot that the Rat Tail was earned. The Tower Key was Dwarf Castle, so unless you had an early white shirt and equipped it, nah, you don't get the bonus ones from Kakul. You could have equipped the one from the moon before promoting ready, but those other ones would not have been available.
So this turns us directly into a question everybody likes to ask, which is, who is Butt? What is Kick? And Ben, what sprite do you think we're going to see tonight?
You know, I'm going to go with... let's go with... We saw Ozma last night. You know, we've actually not seen any form of Kefka in a while. I'm going to go with the big winged Kefka from the end of Final Fantasy VI.
That is a great pick. I'm going to go with the big wing Kappa from the end of Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. All right, Chocosura picking up his hovercraft. He will be second in the fight, it looks like, at this point.
Yeah,
Pizza is actually diving back in to grab what will be his Beast Dragon and waste several minutes of his time, unfortunately.
Yeah. And of course, we're not in the SRL room, but Chocosura is going to feel a little rough once he sees this. And then if Penguin8r beats him to the punch, he'll know if I had only skipped that Wyvern and just gone and checked it. So at this point, Chocosura is kind of hoping for a wipe from Penguin8r, but with that 3,500 HP Yang and the over 2,000 HP Midia,
What a miss!
It's Summoner season. No, it's Monk season. No.
Well,
no.
With this seed, it was definitely Edward season. Okay.
It was Bard season. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting musicians.
Be very quiet. I'm hunting good characters. Oh no, there are none.
Nope, no, you're not. They've been hunted. They are an endangered exotic species at this point. You are not finding good characters this seed.
All right, so we've got Nuke coming up early already. Looks like Penguin will be going with a lot of the reflex strats here, not spending quite as much time berserking our Fengi.
It looks like may not have found Bacchus Wand anywhere. It must have been in Cave Evelyn. So rocking the Nuke and the Ice 3s with Iridias, manually casting Zerk on Yang. Does he have a Unihorn handy?
Feels bad, man, when you see these Ice 3 casts get going. And for like 3,300 damage. I always prefer in these, by the way, to use Virus if I don't have Nuke, just because you save the ATB. But respect what the Penguin8r's doing here.
Yeah, efficiency versus just seeing the big numbers come out. I guess if you expect your Iridia to die in one hit, maybe you try to make it one big hit, but if you nerf that first Big Bang, it's not doing more than 1,200 damage, so you know even Kitty survives it.
Mechalink out of Subterrane, and looks like he's searching for that hook as well, so he about to join Chocosura in go mode.
Yeah, we're going to have 3 very close Aromas fights going on here. Penguin8r has hidden Edward just as a little bit of safety. His HP don't even tick from the HP leak while he's hidden. Another little nice bonus to the Bard's true power. He does pull out the Unihorn, but there's that one last 1404 hit from Yang. Is that enough to do the tip, or are we still in good shape here?
HP ran out.
Oh wow, that Kidia nearly survived that full-powered Big Bang. Only did 30 more than her max HP.
Oh,
you
boy,
hate to see that.
He's going for it here right now. Not even healing.
I mean, you know you have a hot minute here to get a couple nukes in, and you know if you get enough Cure 3s on Yang, he's going to survive the next Big Bang regardless.
This is not an easy fight by any means, folks. This is not over.
Yeah, here comes the Shake. Got Cure 3s off on Iridia. Yeah, they're both set to survive this in all likelihood, given how good her defensive gear and levels are. Does the nuke actually close this out, though, or are we having another Big Bang?
Chocosura has a much higher HP Yang for this spot.
I was definitely not counting the damage.
Could this be the self-kill?
Oh, close, but not quite. It is good to see the virus, though. We know for a fact that Penguin8r did not tip into Phase 2, which you really want to see.
GG. Penguin8r taking it down.
And you really like to see that flash. GG's out for Penguin8r, taking the first place, advancing to the playoffs, bringing it back. Very well done by Penguin8r.
That's our all-time of 140.38, in case you are wondering. Doing little penguin swag.
Newt, Newt. And I'm sure our restreamer will be reaching out to penguin8r to see if he wants to have an interview.
Well, good news. Mechalink did find Bacchus hanging out in Cave Evelyn.
Pizza, meanwhile, has wrapped up the moon, it looks like. Oh, landing again. Oh, he talked to the wrong part of the whale. Why am I not flying to Earth?
Oh, right, that thing.
Choco, meanwhile, still rocking this fight. Team looks to be in great shape. Has nuke on both Rydias. He's going to be burning through this this fight very quickly as well.
So howdy there, Penguin8r. Good game.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy the character selection that you were provided on the seed?
Yeah, so my first reaction upon seeing 3 Edwards was to laugh. And then I kind of figured it's probably a good thing, because I figure I can deal with the Edwards fairly well. That might give me an advantage. But I checked every single shop and not a single dancing dagger. So that was pretty rough.
Arrow and bow selections seem to be pretty kind to you, at least. As far as other things, is this your first race where you would say Unihorn Strats has actually panned out and worked according to plan?
I think I did in one of the other races too. I would say this is the first race where I actually went to Magna's Cave to get the Legend Sword there.
Yeah, you learned that lesson the hard way, didn't you?
I sure did.
So we had Rattail at Tower Key and Hook. Was there any? Did you have any inclination to guide that Hook early, or were you just avoiding it purposely because you never had actually gotten the Hook out of Dampion?
Yeah, not having activated the hovercraft, I felt like that check was about even with doing more moon checks, and I didn't want to have to fly back just for that.
We were also very happy for you that you did not do the half tower play, instead doing the full tower play, because even though you would have gotten required progression, you would have missed that pass, and that could have definitely cost you here, because we do have a second place finisher. Chocosura has wrapped up with an official time of 1:43.24. GG's out in check for Chocosura. I think that's less than 3 minutes, which is about what it takes to walk the moon, right?
Yeah, about that, although had I skipped the top of the tower, that would have saved some time there, so would have only been a minute or two difference, I think.
Fair enough.
All right, so let's cut through the fluff right now. What team, what division do you hope you're drafted into?
I am gonna pay attention to who is drafted, because I was just hoping that he didn't be in the draft at all. I guess I'm hoping that I don't get drafted by Nirm again into Omega's group. Spoiler, people don't know Nirm's drafting for him.
Hey, look, by the way, another Edward here. The pizza is just found in the Hook Cave, so kudos to Scala.
I'm hoping that Pizza sees these finishers like, I'm gonna go to the Giant. I'm gonna go see if there's a good character in play. Well, GG's again, Penguin8r. Make sure to hang out, see which group you're drafted into. Congrats on making that play in. I know that race was nerve-wracking, and we'll see if we can get Chocosura in here for an interview in just a moment.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thanks. All right, so we've got Mechalink fighting in here with the Photomus. Pizza finally has go mode, so as soon as he turns in his crystal, he will be set. Sorry, his adamant and legend sword, he will be set for crystal. And he will be the last one into this fight.
A remarkably narrow race, all things told, given the sheer variety of early strategies we saw. Multiple early grinds that, although gave a little advantage, still only less than 3 minutes between first and second place. So, wide variety, but it all kind of converged with it being behind that Hook plus Rat Tail combo.
Yeah, and Mechalink, you've got to say, at this point, doing the CPU fight and the entire Tower of Zot. I mean, he might pick up like 8 minutes behind here, and that could have been enough to make it, something where if he had actually dove Moon, he could have finished first too.
And meanwhile, we are joined by Chocosura. GG's Chocosura.
GG, thanks.
Go ahead, Rivers.
I just need to know the trigger strats. Tell us about the genesis of the trigger stats.
Well, my thought process was, after seeing all the characters on Earth, Eddies and Tellers pretty much, I saw Sirens and I immediately wanted to go look, or after finding Darkness rather, I wanted to look for Sirens, Coffins, and sadly no exits, but I just wanted to get them going so I can actually kill bosses with them.
I'm sorry, Pizza just found another Edward package, and I couldn't help myself. Yeah, but I mean that makes a lot of sense for sure.
It would have. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you how you thought, in general, the seed played out, given the characters you were forced to work with.
Oh, that was a pretty mean one, I have to admit. The double Eddie start, and then once I saw the Tellers, my heart sank. I was like, oh, this is going to be a good seed.
Well, you played wonderfully. I did feel like there was some bad juju going for you when Pizza actually managed to beat you to the Twin Harp check. If there's ever a race where Chocosura is not the first one checking Twin Harp, I'm worried for you. If you're the first one doing the music, I believe. But if anyone ekes that out over you, I get worried.
Well, I mean, as soon as I saw that Twin Harp, I had to go for it. I mean, like, it's do or die for me, so I might as well go for it. And thankfully, Legend was there, which surprised me.
What were you thinking about getting the Dark Crystal early? Did you think that everybody would be avoiding diving the lunar subterranean, or did you think that it was one of those things where you were making a bold play by not doing it?
With that party, I wouldn't expect people to dive lunar subterranean that early, because I mean, unless they did trigger strats like I did, I don't see them actually doing anything on the moon with Eddies and Telos.
Yeah, we did see both mechalink and penguin8r do some grinding early and get their radios up to about 49 in Penguin's case and 57 for mechalink. So those were on the table, but didn't really pan out. Everybody played moon last, pretty much.
Oh, did they do D Machine or something?
Yeah, we had mechalink do D Machine, and penguin8r uses Life 2 strats on Gold Ds.
Ah, I see. But I will say my two biggest mistakes this run were not saving after finding the hook and checking the rat tail.
Yep.
And if there was nothing there, then I could just, save Scum back to the moon, finish clearing it. But my thought process was, okay, maybe I'm going to gamble here. If there's nothing behind the rat tail, I'm going to continue to fully clear moon, and hopefully the adamant is either at Wyvern or at Pale Dim. And that leads me to my second mistake. Messing around with that Wyvern for 3 attempts.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, penguin8r had a lot of problems with that one as well.
I mean, it was vanilla Wyvern too. This Mega Nukes isn't not even that bad there, but I don't know what happened to me there.
Yeah, it's still a very fast spot for sure.
Yeah.
And it gave a lot of runners problems, not just you.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's not that strong, but when you're rocking the HP with, Rydias and Tellas and stuff, not
Sure.
the hardiest of teams to deal with it.
Yeah. Team's a bit too squishy, except for the young, but I didn't have Bacchus Wines or anything like that either, which kind of made me sad. I'm assuming they were in Eblin?
Yep, they were in Cape Eblin.
I figured.
Well, GG's again. You raced fantastically. You gave us some really cool new strats that I'm definitely going to take advantage of next time I have a team that I need to get a few levels on early.
The checkers.
Oh yeah, and it's always a pleasure to watch you race. Looking forward to seeing you in community races and stuff going forward again. And I'm sure that you'll come back stronger at our next big tournament as well, right?
I plan on it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Choco.
Thank you. All right, take care.
All right.
Take care.
And we got mechalink heading into his final fight right now.
Yeah, he was in it a little while ago, but apparently had some rough luck with the counter nukes. Went to the moon, bought a lot of Cure 3s, and is now about to be neck and neck with Pizza here, duking it out to claim third, which is just for pride at this point, but that's a pretty darn good reason to race in my book.
And Pizza, of course, did give us some extra Edward checks, so not exactly like playing full bore here.
Yeah, we did see both an Edward in Cave Evelyn and another one at Package. So that is 5 Edwards out of the 13 available spots this seed. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a shame that nobody's going to check Package on... I'm sorry, not Package. CPU character on stream. But maybe afterwards we can get an update on that and post it for y'all on the VOD.
The rooting for 6 Edwards, 4 Tellus. Actually, we did get a second. Okay, so we have 2 Monks, 2 Rydias, 5 Edwards, and 3 Tellas thus far, I believe.
I mean, outside of the Monks, that's a reject percent seed.
So neck and neck here. Gonna be a very exciting finish to this final play-in of the round of 32.
If you, by the way, this is like just a good general advice thing. If you ever see Zemus shake 3 times before you throw a crystal, as Pizza just did, you might be in for some rough times.
Yeah. I was talking with someone the other day about this. Someone was asking me questions about it after a broadcast, because if you just see 2 shakes, that's fine. That's expected. Because the way the script works is that Zeromus in this form is guaranteed first action. No matter what, you're seeing the 1 shake. If you see a second one, also expected. That's just him getting another turn in before you. But the third one, yeah, that's saying that this Edward as anchor is probably going to give you a little bit of trouble here. We'll see how it works out for Pizza.
Alright, looks like we've got Wall and Bacchus headed up on our bottom Gilbert here for mechalink. So it looks like a combo strat going on with a bunch of berserkers and nuke tosses. And on Pizza's side, we've got the reset strats, one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, this is a very tricky party for Pizza. Although Tella's strength and vitality drop as he levels up, his agility still increases. He never gets spry enough to really be a good anchor, but he gets spry enough to be a really bad one. So having to choose between him, Rydia, Yang, Edward, yeah, if Yang's level 52, you're in good shape. That puts him right at 28 agility. If not, you may want to be looking around for a ninja hat, that crystal ring we saw earlier. Any of those may improve our situation here.
We're on battle speed 3 now, so Pizza taking it a little bit safe now. Tella is down from mechalink, but his Rydia is healed. The rest of the party seems to not be getting healed, so possibly hoping that it ends very quickly, or alternately hoping that Rydia can carry the day at the end.
Pizza coming back once more into the breach.
It looks like mechalink is getting about 5,000 damage in a turn between the 3 attacks. Maybe a little bit more.
You know, I am a huge fan of power overwhelming strats, but this is one where, I would be nervous. I do like seeing that Edward do more damage than the bottom Yang, though. That's pretty funny.
This would be a good one for unicorn strats for sure.
I'm guessing he's rocking Artemis bow and Artemis arrows right now. That is a beefy bard.
Bard season!
Collar season!
Sage season!
Monk season!
That's all the seasons. No more seasons.
You get 4, that's all. Yeah, getting a nice little bit of bonus damage there, reflecting the nuke right back at Photomus. See if mechalink got a timely nerf in here. We're looking for nothing higher than 1200 from this to know for sure.
Nice. That is a very skillful evade right there.
Very much so, but throwing a direct nuke rather than setting up another reflect. Oh,
He was counting.
he was counting! Mechalink counted it!
He knew. He was in on it the whole time.
I love it.
What a low roll, though.
But it's enough. Clearly had flash effects turned off. It's one of our accessibility options for people with photosensitivity.
Yep.
But you can tell by that collapsing Photomus, Mechalink has come in third with a 156.53. Get your GGs out for Mechalink.
Congrats to Mechalink, for sure. If like we said earlier, if that Earth Crystal had led to the Adamant, then he probably would have won going away.
Absolutely.
We've got Pizza battling it with Photomus for pride at this point.
Hey, no need to surrender at this point. You're in the Zemus fight. Things are going pretty well for you. That nuke from that Rydia did beautiful, beautiful damage. And maybe we'll see if we can get Mechalink in here in a moment as well. If he's inclined to. We'll know shortly thanks to our restreamer.
Yeah, he definitely does not need to, but yeah. Quite unfortunate that there was Pizza throwing punches with Eddie. Getting that 138 in. All the memes coming out on our upper left corner.
Oh, there we go. We got Mecha Stream back.
Shouldn't be too much longer for Pizza for sure. He's throwing enough high-powered nukes out there.
Oh, absolutely. That one was so strong, it made my stream freeze.
You hate to see it.
Chug along here, little Twitch. Chug along now.
Or do you hate to not see it? Whichever.
Oh, that was a very rude Big Bang. I don't like that Big Bang at all.
We might be close to media here for him.
And that's a very bad time to see it, where it could even one-shot your high HP Yang.
Eddie, get hiding, Eddie.
Sees that Shagan is like, nope, I'm out of here.
Ooh. Eddie versus the Photomus. I think I've seen this stream before.
Ooh, might be tricky throwing that show that quickly. I'm wondering if that was the best timing, or maybe there's a better spot in the script. I don't know it half as well as Simbu does, but there may have been a more optimum time there. Doing the Starveil is definitely a good call, but not getting it off in time. Ooh.
Wipe. Yeah, Photomus was not playing around with that agility setup, unfortunately.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we are joined by Mechalink. It appears you still have your mic set to mute, though. Are you with us, Mecha?
I am. I just muted while you hadn't introduced me yet.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, GG's. third place for Pride, of course, and we do have a forfeit from Pizza there to wrap up the race.
Mhm.
First and foremost, I want to let you know that you were the only racer who had the courage to go through that CPU fight. And if that Earth Crystal had been the key instead of Moon, you take that by 10 or 15 minutes easily.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
pulling for you. We were pulling for you on that one.
No, that's was my feeling too. Was when Earth didn't pan out, I was like, okay, right, like I'm probably dead here, right? And yeah, no, I feel good about everything except my screwing up the D machine grind by not turning on encounters. Otherwise, I felt really good about what I did here today. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, you went in and got, what was it, 57 levels on Rydia.
Mhm.
Penguin8r got, I think, 49 on Life 2 grind. You went to the D machines instead. And that really sets you guys up to pounce through a lot of the early game for sure.
Yeah, and right, like I thought that was, basically before I went to the moon for that character, I was like, we're not even well set up for a slingshot unless this is Rydia, and I'm like, and it's Rydia, and I'm like, oh, okay, like I guess we're doing this, right? Because we were all in like the teens, and then like if another teen showed up, right, like it wouldn't have been a slingshot, but but yeah.
Yeah, this was a very mean character selection from Scala.
Mhm.
What were you thinking when
Triple
when,
Edward, triple Tella?
Yeah. What were you thinking when it came time to after you did the grind itself? Was the thought ever in your head to just do Moon right away?
Was the thought in my head to what?
To do the Moon right away?
Oh, the thought was in my head, but my belief is that doing the moon right away is the thing that everybody will do.
Oh, the irony.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I mean, we have the tools, right? Like that's the thing is that like once you did ordeals, you absolutely had the tools to do moon, right? Like, so I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like that these are stronger players and they would have done the moon. I like how playing the Earth went. It gave you a lot of information, enough so that when I got Hook, right, like I knew that like I wanted to warp out and check Rat Tail, right? Like whereas if you'd gone the other way and done Moon first, right, like who knows how that goes down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were right there. It was a great race. Definitely congratulations to you.
Yeah, I'm glad for that at least. Minor things like not checking the moon shop to know where the Cure 3s were, and to know that Bacchus Wines would have then been in Eblin, made that first white a thing. If Penguin8r hadn't finished, I honestly would have gotten the Cure 3s because that would have sealed it up. But at that point, I figured I'd try. So.
Get him next year.
Yeah,
Well,
next year.
Thanks a lot for the interview, and obviously you did great. We're very proud of you, and hope you'll be cheering on the rest of your competitors as they keep playing.
Yeah, draft's up next, right? Same channel?
That's right. Just
All
give
right.
us 10.
All right. Yep, because of all the delay stuff. All right. I will see you there.
GG's, Becca.
Thank you.
GG's.
And in the meantime, Pizza has declined a final interview. Did say he had a blast playing in the league, but we're going to take a moment to get set up for the draft. We're going to be letting the 4 points leaders do a snake draft to see who they get to play in the upcoming playoff rounds. So stick around. Scala and the Restream team are going to get all this sorted out, and we'll be right back with you in a moment, folks. welcome back, everyone. We are ready to begin the actual draft. But first, let's go through and talk about the 16 players who have advanced to the playoffs of Highway to the Zemus Zone. First of all, we're going to start at the bottom, work our way up. We have number 16, penguin8r. You all just saw him win that play-in match. Had a very good placement last year. Was one of the racers representing the community at RPG Limit Break Live this year. Excellent racer of the vanilla game as well. And he'll be number 16 on the draft charts tonight.
All right, and then number 15, we've got Flurry14, who ducked out of Moon at just the right time in the play-in race on Sunday. So he will be your number 15 player. Very solid player, worked with Penguin as a 2v2 partner. And interesting to see them both make the final 16.
Absolutely. We also have Error, a very multi-talented runner of quite a wide variety of games. Also making it to this final 16 this year. He was one of the ones one of the three who advanced from the previous play-in match. Looking forward to seeing how he tears through this playoff scene.
Number 13, we've got Night Dude, who finished second overall in the league last year. Also was in a play-in last year and made it through that. So definitely no slouch. He was part of Team Cape Bahamut last year. Go Team Cape Bahamut. And he'll be looking forward to another top finish this year.
In 12, we have Swimmy Leone. He also made it to the final day last year, the top 8, battling it through playoffs before. This year, made a very clean 11 points to qualify. And he was also one of the other racers at RPG Limit Break. So still going strong on Free Enterprise. Looking to see how he fares this year as well.
All right, in the 11th spot, we've got Simbu. Simbu is our resident tester. He tests everything, literally everything, make sure that every Edward has a purpose. He's represented tonight by our good man in the telescope room, Corey. So he is what's a good way to put this? He's a very calculated player, and I think we're all excited to see what he can do as far as making his top gambles in this top 16.
Oh yeah, truly a scholar of Free Enterprise if there ever was one. In number 10, there's me! Yeehaw! Hi, y'all know me, I'm Invenerable. I made top 6 last year. I got to race at Limit Break with a lot of these fine folk. I really like playing the game, I like commentating the game, and I'm looking forward to the playoffs.
In our 9th spot, we've got Zilch. Zilch made a name for himself in the World Series of Free Enterprise, picked up a couple of top 8 finishes, and representing himself with Tellus, so you know he's got bad taste, but hey, maybe that won't stop him.
In 8, we have Peasants OMFG, who, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is one of our Free Enterprise Thunders from Down Under, has just tore through the league this year, coming across with 2 first-place finishes, a total of 12 points, and yeah, looking forward to seeing how he plays as well. Does a lot of 2v2 play, I believe, with Woo Bear, so it could be interesting if we see a little friendly rivalry ending up in these playoff groups.
All right, 7, we've got Dobby Two-Step. Dobby, one of the big surprises of this year's league, kind of taking everything by storm. He's definitely our resident underdog, even at 7th place, but I think we'll all be pulling for him to pull a top finish out of this top 16.
Absolutely. In 6th place, we have Baka Shinobi, relative newcomer to the game, but has really just done fantastically. Really dove in during World Series of Free Enterprise earlier this year, and his claim to fame at this league is that not only did he end up with 12 points and 2 first-place finishes, he had the highest strength of schedule during the round of 32. He got here by facing off with the high points earners, so regardless of what happens forward, that's an accomplishment in itself. GG's to Baka.
All right, and then number 5, we've got Dusty Griff. Dusty is the winner of the World Series of Free Enterprise. Came on strong, came in through the play-ins last year, made a name for himself, and I would say he's definitely one of the favorites to win the entire thing, even though he's in 5th right now. But top 16, definitely not somebody you want to see in your 4-man group, for sure.
Absolutely. And for our starting the list of the 4 players who will be actually doing the drafting, in 4th we have Woo Bear, leader of the self-named async crew, and leading out the Dark Knight division, Woobear has done a great job this league, making great plays, coming out of it with 13 points, which strength of schedule let him just barely eke out over Dusty to take that draft spot. So Woobear's going to have some really good decisions to make tonight, and has a
It was head-to-head,
wonderful color
actually.
scheme for his group. Oh, it was head-to-head. Apologies.
That's all good. Also, you scared the heck out of me. It's just all of a sudden I was listening to the stream, all of a sudden, boom, I'm in here. Woo.
Well, welcome, Woobear. Any quick initial thoughts before we introduce the next one?
No, none.
Zero
right.
thoughts.
Zero thoughts.
We've got negative thoughts for you, folks. Coming in at number 3, we've got our man Aizan Tayama, representing the Golbez division. Aizen made it to the top 8 last year, was a backup runner for the RPG Limit Break event, came and showed up. We were so happy to see him. Obviously a big upgrade this year. The number 3, get to draft. I'm not sure if he's in this or not, but Aizen, if you're in here, any thoughts?
Nope. Just ready.
All right, 2 in a row, 0 thoughts. Inven, back to you.
All right. And in second place this year, also getting a draft, he did last year as well, Kobahi is leading the Mist Dragon division. Don't go hunting for them. You won't find them. Played wonderfully in both leagues last year and this year. Last year having a perfect 16 points. This year coming darn close with 15, only losing that one race, just barely eked out by Elmagus. So we're going to see what kind of group Kobahi drafts this year, and we'll see if he makes a deeper run into the playoffs than he did in 2018.
I'm just happy I don't have the curse of 16 points. It's gonna happen.
Nobody wants to be that perfect. All right, and then at number 1, we've got twitch.tv/Elmagus, the Wyvern division leader. Elmagus could not make this draft, unfortunately, because A, he lives in Germany, and B, he just plays poker all the time anyway. So we brought in Nirm to represent Elmagus. So, Nirm, what are you looking forward to doing for Elmagus' division this year?
Well, he told me to follow this list, and then he told me not to follow the list. So I'm really at a loss of what I'm supposed to do here. So we're gonna see what happens.
All right. Well, I guess that kind of wraps up all the preliminary stuff. So I guess, guys, we should be drafting. So let's give Scala a minute to pull up whatever she's going to do. Let's follow along with who gets drafted right here on this handy little board. And then the first pick belongs to twitch.tv/Elmagus, aka Nirm in this case.
Well, being the legendary Hex's Force speedrunner that Elmagus is, make no mistake about it, there's no foul. The first pick is going to be Error.
Sounds like we have a little cross-game rivalry coming in here tonight. Should be interesting.
All right, so our second pick will go to the Mr. Dragon division and Kobahi. Kobahi, who are you picking?
Just by the random numbers that I'm now picking out of a hat, I'm going with Peasants OMF2.
Oh, wow. The Australian shout-out. Making all of your races hard to get to. I respect it.
And third on the list, we do have Aizen Tayama. Aizen, you can't fully recreate Team Feymarch this year, but who are you going to go with your first pick?
With my first pick, I'm going with you, Invenerable, because, Golbez and you pretty much fit.
You know, I was actually hoping you wouldn't pick me, because we have played each other 3 times across the league in the last 2 years. I want some new opponents, Aizen.
Ha, ha, ha. All right, so we go over to the Dark Knight division. Woobear has back-to-back picks. So, Woobear, who are they going to be?
Swimmy and Penguin.
Picking up 2 of the RPG Limit Break runners, Swimmy, Leone, and penguin8r. penguin8r, you guys just saw, won this last race. So that is looking to be a tough group already.
Yeah, they're the guys I look up to when I started playing this game. Not look up to, but, they're just really good players. There we go.
All right, and back to Eisen for the second group Golbez pick.
Yeah, I might regret this one, but I'm gonna go with Dusty for my second one, just because I haven't faced on this.
Wow. Okay.
I said don't remake Fame Arch. Don't remake Fame. What are you doing, guys?
I can't take Kabaya.
Wow, Dusty Griff getting drafted early off the board. That was going to be a real group of death right there. I can already see it playing out. Okay. Kobahi, Miss Dragon's second pick is up.
Second random number. Well, looks like we're going with Zilch.
All right, Zilch, the Tele lover, has logged on. You love to see it. So I guess this means we go back to twitch.tv/Elmagus. So Nirm, you've got 2 more picks for him.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and follow the sacred Elmagus draft_list.txt scrolls here. And the first pick is going to be resident race stat site maker, Flurry 14.
All right. I like a Flurry 14.
And the
Flurry 14
final
there.
for Team Wyvern will be Night Dew.
Ooh, that's both of last year's top 2 finishers in the same division.
Getting that rematch in early this year.
Wow, that's also looking to be a very stacked group. Okay, Kobahi, finish up your Miss Dragon group.
Alright, not many people left, so I guess we're gonna go with Dobby Two-Step.
Dobby Two-Step headed to the Miss Dragon division, which I should note, not the prestigious group, not a whole lot of success in last year's World Series, or sorry, not World Series, last year's Highway, but some people who came during World Series and some real newcomers that can give Kobahi some trouble. Over to Aizen Sayama for Group Golbez's final pick.
I think with my last one, I'm gonna go with Baka Shinobi.
Wow, Baka Shinobi only increasing his strength of schedule somehow.
Baka was so proud to make it through the round of 32. If Baka makes it to the finals, forget it. We all have to bow to Baka Shinobi in that situation. This is, ooh, baby.
All right, so that means that Woo Bear's last pick is forced, and it will be Simbu. So those are your divisions. What we'll be doing is we'll have each of these divisions run 2 races, and we will eliminate the last place finisher in each of them. So this is definitely a winner, a top 3 or go home scenario, and then a top 2 or go home scenario for each of these divisions. And then, happy with your group?
You know, well, the only thing that kind of makes me sad is that Aizen, Baka, and I have already played once this year, so that's just pretty much an out-and-out rematch. Aizen, me, and Dusty played twice in the playoffs last year. More rematches. I need some fresh blood out here, but you know, if I have to cut through these 3 first, I'll do my best.
All right. Well, that is the meat of the draft, folks. These are what you're going to be seeing in the next coming matches. Obviously, we don't have them scheduled yet, but we'll get right on that. And yeah, looking like some real groups of death in Golbez and Dark Knight. And we got the Wyvern Night Dew Elmagus race off for first place for last year.
Yeah, these are going to be some amazing matches. Can't wait to see them. Kobahi, the old blood, challenging 3 doses of new blood. Woobear going for some of his idols. Elmagus going for the rematch from last year. And Team Golbez is, you just have to laugh. Great groups all around.
All right, I guess, Scala, what do you have to say?
Yeah, let's go once more quickly over each of our drafters. We'll go fourth to first again. Woobear, how do you feel about the full team you have managed to draft tonight?
I feel pretty good. I don't feel like. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I didn't know if you had further thoughts. Or
No,
if you,
no. I don't think it matters too much in this. Like everyone's just so good, so it's like.
Gotcha. Eisen, closing thoughts?
I probably did a good idea of making me fall out of the top 8, but
Well, you definitely picked with your heart, and I respect that.
No, I respect that.
Govahi, any thoughts on your group?
I mean, I have to say the same thing as Booba. Anyone that made it to this top 16 is capable of taking this entire thing, so I'm just looking forward to some more good races.
And Elmagus, any thoughts on your group that you drafted?
I don't even watch these people. I just play poker all day.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, thank you. Yeah, Scala, we'll do just that. Thank you, everyone, for coming out for the final play-in match tonight. Thank you for sticking around for the drafts. In case it's not obvious, there is a lot of hype matches coming up in the next couple weeks. Be looking for those playoff matches to get scheduled. Pay attention to Discord for when they'll be happening. And yeah, get ready, y'all. It's going to be a good one. Rivers?
I'm very excited to see how these playoff matches play out, and feeling more at peace than ever with my decision to not play in this tournament. Ooh, those are some tasty groups.
All right, friends, so we're going to turn it back over to Scala. She'll probably play a little bit of closing music, and we'll find some good raid targets so you all can continue enjoying the night. All right, well, that answers that. We are going to be raiding Kedril, so get ready to give a big free enterprise community amount of love, a non-insignificant amount, over to Kedril, and you all have a wonderful night, friends.
Take care, everybody.